Morning, YTPC. This is Iron Brigade Piper coming to you from Southern California. And today I'm going to do my video response to Buckeye Piper's 400 sub giveaway. Congratulations, Buckeye Piper. I'm close behind you with a whopping 29 subs. So I'll get there one day, brother. But I just want to quickly thank everybody who's actually subscribed to my channel and who's participated in the comments section. Really appreciate all of you guys, and I'm sure Buckeye Piper appreciates all of us who subscribe to his channel. It's been a real joy watching your videos, Buckeye. I'll sit down and light up a pipe and just enjoy your videos and a lot of other videos from the YTPC. It's just great to be able to do that and interact with you guys in that way. But in the video, Buckeye Piper asked us to share something that you guys might not know about us, or even a hobby that we do. And I've already kind of shared my most interesting hobby that I've done with you guys in my previous videos. If you've watched them, you would have known that I used to do American Civil War reenacting. Hence my name, Iron Brigade Piper. We used to portray a unit in the famous Iron Brigade. But I don't know if I told you guys that I also did World War II reenacting. And when I did World War II reenacting, we portrayed, of all things, a French Foreign Legion unit. There weren't many French Foreign Legion units in the reenacting community, so we wanted to do something different. And it was a unit that a lot of the guys in my Civil War reenacting group joined, and a lot of us had beards and mustaches, and the French Foreign Legion was one of the few units that actually allowed beards and mustaches during World War II. All the other armies were pretty clean cut, you know, so we chose that unit to be unique and different, and it was really cool. The unit was the 13th DBLE, and they're actually still in existence today. And what we would do, we'd go up to Camp Roberts, which is up close to Paso Robles. It's like Central California area, close to the coast, not too far away. Wine country, beautiful wine country. And we'd go up there, and we'd have these battle events and stay in the barracks over the weekend. And just think of, if you guys are familiar with airsoft, it's like airsoft but on a more massive scale, with tanks and half-tracks and jeeps and machine guns, all kinds of things. And we would use real firearms, but we'd be firing blanks out of them, obviously, because I'm still here and alive and kicking, right? But yeah, that was something else that I did, because I'm a history major. Like I told you guys, I love history, and particularly military history. I got into history because of my family members. Pretty much, like my grandfather and all his brothers and my grandmother's brothers all served in the military, and they all fought in World War II. And at the family events, I used to sit down and just listen to them tell their stories. They would get together, all the veterans in the family, and they'd chat and just talk about, you know, the days when they served and what they did over there. So that's what got me interested in history, just listening to the stories. But you know, right now, you know, being a father of 2 young kids, I don't really have a lot of time to do other hobbies because I'm busy, you know, running around after my 2 little munchkins, you know. But the only real hobby I have now is this pipe smoking. But I'm also an avid reader. I'm always trying to read a book so that I can learn something new and keep my mind fresh. And that's what I do a lot of times when I'm smoking a pipe, either watching your videos, you know, on the YTPC, or I'm reading a book. And right now, I'm reading this really interesting book, and I'll just show it to you guys real quick. It's called The Coddling of the American Mind. How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Up a Generation for Failure by Greg Lukianoff and Jonathan Haidt. And it's a really, really good book. I've only gone about halfway through it, but I've learned so much from it already. And it's dealing with the mindset of our youth today, and all the just the uproar when it comes to like the political situation, or even uh, things on our campuses. So, like an example is on college campuses across the country. I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of conservative speakers try to come onto the campuses, and as you know, a lot of our campuses are pretty liberal and left leaning. Um, but when these conservative speakers come on campus, there's like usually this huge uproar from you know certain groups on the campus that pretty much don't want to hear what these people have to say, and they actually view now like some speech as violence, actual violence towards them, and they feel like they have to protect everyone else from this violence. And it's not just the students, but some of the administration and the faculty as well. And that's why you see like a lot of these protests on college campuses across the country, where people are just throwing a fit because this conservative speaker is coming on the school campus grounds to give a speech or a talk or a lesson on something, and um, something that may challenge like some of their dearly held beliefs, and it's this uproar and this what they call triggering nowadays, this emotional triggering, all stems out of what these authors call this idea of safetyism. How parents and schools K through 12 and even our college campuses now are basically overprotecting our children from being exposed to what they view as traumatic or even violent speech, and even like lessons and topics that could emotionally trigger people. Like an example of that would be the history of slavery in our country. And it's even gone so far as to some college campuses are even calling for the removal of some of these topics from our curriculum, because they want to create a safe space and a safe environment in the classroom, and they don't want people to be triggered and stuff like that, So to me, that's kind of insane, because I've always viewed the college campus as a place where a multitude of different ideas and beliefs were welcome there. I mean, traditionally, this is what the university was for, where you could share different ideas and beliefs and have a discussion about them, But now, it's like on the college campus, if you don't hold to their certain specific set of beliefs, then they don't want to hear anything else. At least that's kind of what I've seen, and I work on a college campus as well. So, college campuses, the administration might say, "Oh yeah, we're open to all beliefs and stuff like that, and inclusive and stuff." But when it really comes down to it, and their actions, not really, not so much. And I'm not saying every school is like that, but there's a lot out there that are not willing to allow other viewpoints and beliefs to come onto their campus. But this idea of safetyism, we're overprotecting our youth from these ideas, and as a result, we're weakening them and not teaching them how to cope with these things. Not now that's why when a student or a younger person like hears something that they might not disagree with, or that challenges their beliefs, they get like what's called triggered, emotionally triggered, and they go crazy and stuff like that, and then they just throw a fit, so that it silences the opposition or whatever they don't want to hear. and then they have to go into, now they have these safe zones or safe spaces on campuses where if you're triggered, you could go into a room and huddle in a corner and cuddle with a puppy or something like that, which to me, it's like, man, when I went to school, to college, I didn't see any of that, like we dealt with our stuff, our issues and stuff, and if we came up against a viewpoint that challenged ours, like we discussed it, we had a civil discussion about it. But that's not the case these days. And they talk about, one of the authors is a psychologist, and he talks about how in the treatment of PTSD victims or people suffering from PTSD, what they do actually is they expose these people to like the traumatic events that they suffered in a controlled environment, in a controlled way. And they actually encourage them to face these things head on and face their fears and their anxieties and their doubts head on. And as a result, the person overcomes that stressful or traumatic event, and they become stronger as a result. They become stronger people as a result. But we're doing the complete opposite now, these guys say. And as a result, a lot of our college students, when they get out of the university and go into the real world, they're these highly emotionally and even in some cases mentally unstable people who can't deal with like real life events. When you go into the workplace and your boss like challenges you or something like that, or even calls you out on something, you can't go into a safe place and cuddle with a puppy. You have to deal with stuff. So that's kind of what this book is about, and it's just really, really interesting, talking about how even now certain speech or certain ideas are viewed as like violence now. Like people view certain viewpoints as like violence towards them, which to me that's crazy. I don't know. But I don't know what you guys think about it. It'd be interesting to kind of have a discussion about this and see what people think. But yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. That's the most interesting thing I'm doing right now. But I really appreciate the opportunity to win this giveaway. It's highly generous of you, Buckeye, and fingers crossed. I hope I'm the winner, but we'll see what happens, and I'll be happy for whoever wins the giveaway. But thank you very much, and you guys have a great day, and happy piping.